Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sully Squad. It's good to be back. Thought I'd be back last week, but I got back a little later. I was actually in Nashville. So anybody out there, if you get a chance to go somewhere, man, Nashville is like definitely where it's at. Nashville's an awesome time. So had a great time in Nashville, but didn't get back till about 8 o'clock at night. So obviously no show. But we got a lot to get into this week. We got a red hot Philadelphia Eagles team, 3 wins in a row. Went to Cincinnati yesterday and just absolutely took care of business. We got a struggling hockey team. I mean, Flyers off to a tough start. I know they're rebuilding, but tough start. At least the Russian kid's looking good.
Yeah.
And then we got the Sixers, and I definitely want to get into them. I mean, they had a nice win yesterday. Behind Tyrese Maxey's 45 points. But it just the fact that Embiid couldn't even make opening day. I got a lot to say about that. So we'll get into all that. But I got my man Sean Kilrain with me. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
Not much, man. What's up, man? Feeling good. Eagles win, So let's get the party rocking.
Yeah, man. So let's start off with the positives, because like I said, I mean, I want to flame the Sixers for how they're handling the Joel Embiid thing, but let's start off with a positive note, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. So Eagles, well, actually, since we last did this show, Eagles had 2 convincing wins, because we weren't on last week.
Yes.
So last week, a nice 28-3 piece over the Giants, and now yesterday, really impressive 37-17 win at Cincinnati. Eagles dominated I thought the Eagles dominated the line of scrimmage, looking both sides of the ball. I mean, the Eagles rushed for 161 yards, only gave up 58 on the ground. So I thought they dominated the line of scrimmage. Didn't start off too great. I mean, that first Bengals drive, that 10-minute drive,
12, yeah. Mm-hmm.
that was like death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, how many 3rd downs did they converted at least 4 or 5 3rd downs on that drive, But all in all, really impressive win by the Eagles, and the defense even forced a few turnovers. So, Sean, what was your biggest takeaway from that game yesterday?
Just the way the defense have played, like the rookies, DeJean, just like Chris Rapizzi said, one thing I loved, 4th and whatever. I don't know why the coach decided to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like DeJean said, he saw Chase dancing in the backfield, so he knew it was probably going to him. And lo and behold, my man stops him, stonewalls him. Now, if Avante Maddox is in there, nah, he ain't having it. He ain't doing it. And Isaiah Rodgers coming in, playing big for little play Slay,
Mm-hmm.
They that's where we seen tackling, and that was a positive note. And what stuck out to me, like you said, O-line, 0 sacks for those Bengals. 0.
Yeah.
That's big. Our line is kind of hobbled. We kind of got, I don't know about you, but I was kind of worried about Lane Johnson getting rolled on.
Oh, yeah.
He's a farm boy. He's a country boy. He's country tough. And, yeah, he got back out there. But, boy, was I worried. I ain't going to lie. But, you got the revolving door with this O-line. Stoutland has these guys ready and willing, whether you're a starter, whether you're a backup. Your assignment. And it's awesome. You got Scene, Jackson, Trevor Keegan, who has yet to play, but Driscoll. I mean,
yeah,
you can go on and on. And I'm loving the fact, before you say what you got to say, Jurgens, man, he's just coming into his own, man. Slowly but surely. And then now we're seeing run, pass, which, hey, keep the ball rolling. So, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, totally agree. Well, first off, you mentioned the O-line, and Fred Johnson in particular. I mean, the Bengals don't have the greatest defensive line, but Trey Hendrickson's a hell of a pass rusher. I mean, if
Yes,
you remember,
he is, man. Great
if you remember that game at Kansas City in particular, Trey Hendrickson wreaked havoc on the Chiefs.
Oh, yes, he did. As a matter of fact, since
You
you
know?
said that, he got the rookie pulled from the game. Just
Yeah,
with his
so-
technique, like you said, his ball skills, and just like you said, he did a hell of a job, Fred Jackson.
Yeah, so Fred Johnson did a hell of a job. Juergens is playing great at center. Steen had a good game. I mean, the O-line played great. I thought Jalen, I mean, if you look at Jalen's, Jalen had that one bad pass that he threw out flat that was almost picked. But other than that, the last few weeks, Jalen has been almost perfect. I mean, he was 16 out of 20, 236 yards, one passing touchdown, 3 rushing touchdowns. So Jalen had a hell of a game. Devontae Smith, Slim Reaper. I mean, every time you throw that ball deep to the Slim Reaper, it seems like he comes down with it, and that's really impressive, especially considering how skinny the guy is. I mean, he really knows how to control his body. But I'm looking here, individual stats. You got Devontae had 6 catches, 85 yards, 1 TD. AJ Brown had some big catches, 5 for 84.
Yeah.
Who's been impressive, with Dallas Goedert out? Alcantara. I mean, he's not the greatest blocker, but 3 catches, 58 yards. He's serviceable. An efficient Saquon day. Saquon, 22 carries, 108 yards. Averaged almost 5 yards a carry. So Saquon in there, and defensively, like Chris Rapizzi says here, Cooper DeJean is a beast. I mean, my uncle sent me a text earlier today, and it was like about Cooper DeJean's play, and he was like, "Oh, Bill Parcells used to have a saying about guys. He'd be like, that kid's a football player." Like when I look at Cooper DeJean and how he plays, like that's exactly what I think. I go, that kid's a football player.
Yeah, he has that look. Like he's zoned in. He knows his assignment.
Yeah,
that player he's going to get, and I mean it's awesome. And Shipley had a nice run, but that damn Tyler Steen holding, man, it would have been nice to see the kid get that touchdown because Shipley was a man on a mission with that run. That was an angry run.
Yeah, I'll tell you another guy I thought popped off the screen. Nakobe Dean's starting to look like a football player.
Slowly but surely,
slowly but surely, Nakobe Dean is starting to look like a football player. I mean, he's every game. I know maybe in coverage he's not the greatest. He needs a little work in coverage, but each of these games, it seems like he pops with like a nice hit. Like you see him, they'll throw a ball out to the back or whatever, or a running play. He comes in there and he pops a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to see. I mean, I want to see like the kid on the other team. I love Logan Wilson, man. Logan Wilson is a baller.
He is. That kid can play. That kid can
play everywhere and anywhere, man. Whether he's a tackle machine and he intercepts the ball,
Michael Kaepernick Jr. with a comment here. He says the Eagles need to make a trade for a legit edge rusher like the Bengals edge and Max Crosby. I believe we need that over a third wide receiver. Why? I agree with you there, but I don't see the Raiders trading Max Crosby. He's
not getting traded. I read an article. He was, but now Davis said he's going to stay with him because he knows what he brings to the team, the value, etc. But as far as I'm concerned, he said third receiver, and I said it earlier before the season. Hunter Renfrow, man, get him.
I hear you, Sean. I've always liked Hunter Renfrow, but it does make you wonder how come no. I mean, he's been a productive slot receiver in this league for at least 3-4 years. Like how come nobody's reached out to him? It makes you like, is he hurt? Is it in a locker room? You know what I mean? Like doesn't it make you wonder like why hasn't anybody else signed him?
Gotta look into that. Who knows? It's a very good question, but shit, I sign him.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind bringing him in. I mean, they're certainly not using Dotson much.
No, they're not. That's enough.
How about this game? Washington and the Bears game, crazy at the end. Did you see that hand job for the Bears that was talking crap to all the fans?
Dude, exactly. He was taunting and talking shit to the Washington fans. That's what you get, dude. Focus on the game, and you got bit. Not enough said. Now, I got news for you. He better hope he's still on that team, Tyreek Stevenson, because the tape don't lie. When you do film study, they're going to rip him a new asshole.
Yeah.
You focus on your assignment, your player. And he's yapping, looking, blah, blah, blah. And
ironically, he's the one that tipped the ball up. What a hand job. You know what I mean? He's talking all that crap, and he's the one that tips the damn ball. Like I thought the Bears made a mistake the play before. They made that they let the Commanders get about 15 yards, 12 15 yards on an out, which allowed them to throw the Hail Mary. Like in my opinion, I feel like obviously you guard deep, but I feel like in that circumstance you guard the sideline too, and you don't allow that, and you make the kid throw because Jaden Daniels has a hell of an arm, but if you make him throw over 70 yards, he may not reach the end zone.
You got to collapse the pocket. You're right.
I thought that was a major mistake. In fact, I got SportsCenter on right now. I think Orlowski or somebody. I mean, I don't have the volume on, but they must have been talking about it because
breaking it down. Yeah,
they were showing that outplay, and like I just thought that was a mistake. I mean, in my eyes, you don't anything can, as we've seen with Aaron Rodgers many times, with yesterday. The probability of a Hail Mary is low, but it has happened. Like I would try to eliminate that at any time,
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Mike Kaepernick Jr. agrees with you on Hunter Renfrow. He says, I like Hunter Renfrow. How about Adam Thielen from the Panthers?
If it ain't going to cost us anything, hey, I'm all for it, man. You're going to have guys that are going to want to this team, man, because early on in the season, it's like, is this team a playoff contender or
right
Super Bowl contender? Now the ball's rolling, man. Like you said, Saquon Barkley running the ball. Jalen is slowly but surely, getting it to the other receivers, man. Sky's the limit, man. And come this Sunday against the Jags, I'm curious to know what they do against Dougie P and crew.
Well, one thing that's going to hurt the Jags is I think Brian Thomas, their star rookie receiver, I was reading on the internet, he's probably going to miss some time. I don't know exactly his injury, but whatever it was, he got dinged up yesterday, and it could be like a 2 to 3 week injury. So,
okay.
Chris Rapisi with the comment, game not over until all zeros on the clock, and then we got Mike Kaepernick Jr. says the Texans put pressure on Anthony Richardson and his Hail Mary throw and sacked him, unlike the Bears. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like, I feel like you obviously want to have guys deep, but why not put a little bit of pressure on the quarterback? You just let him throw that ball, and you never know what the hell could happen.
Especially if I always like the edge, off the edge, man. You got to get a guy like Max Crosby. Get him off, boom. Shackle him.
Yeah. Baseball related here. Chris Rapisi says, I know it's just BS talk. What you guys think of Soto or Castellanos at right field? I mean, yeah, I know there's a lot of speculation that's saying as soon as the World Series ends, it's basically going to be an arms race between the Phillies, Yankees, Mets, and even the Dodgers, with all the money they got. I mean, all all the big time teams are probably going to be in play for Juan Soto. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you know,
If I'm
I
him,
think a lot of that might depend on how this World Series. Like I just find it hard to believe that the Yankees would allow themselves to get. You know, you see how good Soto's been, especially batting in front of Judge. I mean, you know, who has more money than the Yankees? I mean, maybe the Mets owner, okay, but like if you're the New York Yankees, like, and you want to keep a guy, like how often are you getting outbid?
true.
You know, I'll tell you one thing. I just hope he doesn't go to Queens. That's. I
Now,
mean, I'd love for him to come to.
There's no way in hell he's going to Queens. No way. I
Really?
can't.
It wouldn't surprise me though, because that Mets owner's got deep ass pockets, man, and I'm sure he would love nothing more than to stick it to the Yankees and the Phillies. You know.
But here's the thing. Bryce gets on the phone. We know him and Bryce have a very good connection.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if you're Soto? Would you want to play with the guy who he said on that Sunday night baseball game he highly is enamored with his good friend Bryce, one of the best players? I mean, I could see Bryce enticing him, but like we said, money talks and bullshit walks. I wouldn't want to play for the Mets, but he wants to get. Do you want to play for the love of the game or just get that money and just
Yeah,
I mean, it's so hard, but like you said, with the game, it's so much money, man.
yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, we're just to play devil's advocate. I mean, obviously. I mean, we have a Philly bias here because we're Phillies fans. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, and the Phillies have a hell of a team, but the Mets are contenders too, and like I said, to play devil's advocate, imagine Mets haven't won a World Series since 1986. Imagine he goes to Queens, gets them over the hump. I mean, he's a hero forever up there. Not that he wouldn't be here, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, shit. We're Phillies. F the Mets, really. I'm not going.
Mike Papernick Jr. says, "I want Soto, but signing Turner that contract, it won't happen. The only way the Phillies get Soto is if he defers money." Well, yeah, but the only thing is, though, maybe if he you'd only have to defer money really this year, though, because after this year, Schwarber's contract comes off the books. Realmuto's contract comes off the books. Now, I'd like to keep Schwarber because I feel like Schwarber's a leader of the team.
Yeah.
But like, let's be honest. As much as I love Schwarber and I think Schwarber's a leader of the team, and I'd hate to lose that. If you tell me right now, I could bring Juan Soto in and take a run next year with this group, try to win the World Series. But in turn, I have to lose Schwarber and Realmuto. And then after next year, you lose Casti. But you're telling me I get Soto for a consistent time with Harper to try to win more World Series? I'm signing up for that deal. I'm signing up for it.
Okay.
Soto's only 26 years old. So, I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a long-term deal. And he probably would get one of them like 12, 13-year Johns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at 26, I'd sign up for it because the way I look at it, this Phillies nucleus has like another maybe, what do you think, Sean? Maybe 2 years to try to win. I mean, these guys aren't getting any younger, Yeah,
exactly. 2-year window.
So
and then onto the other things. Trade Gaffey, boom. I would.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't shock me if Bohm got moved.
Yeah, it is huge, Chris. I mean, Iron Man. I mean, I think he basically told Thompson to shove it up his ass if he wanted to arrest him. But he did his thing. But like you said, you want an outfielder like a Santander, Our dream guy is Soto. You know, I just want players that are gonna make this team go further, like what we're seeing now, the Dodgers and the Yankees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what a funny thing is on the topic? I think I sent it to you. If I didn't, you had Kirk Gibson and Freddie Freeman's home run grand slam. Excuse me, both hit at the same exact time 36 years ago at 8:37.
I
How
know
crazy is that?
it's crazy. And you know what's really ironic too? I remember when I was a kid, when Gibson hit his home run, I was
Yeah.
I was 10 years old. Yeah, I was 10. But I was rooting for the Oakland A's, and I was watching. I fell asleep on the couch, so I missed the home run. Then, dude, Friday night, I'm watching the game, and I fell asleep in the ninth inning. So, like, isn't that ironic? Like both of those iconic home runs, I slept through. I didn't see either of them live.
Well,
Neither one. I didn't see either one.
that's awesome. Something to laugh about and look
Oh
at.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so
Tell you the one thing, yeah, Chris Rapizzi, Freeman not even supposed to be playing. That's a crazy injury. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
like
the thing, you know what? I mean, the thing about Freeman too is like, I don't like you know what I mean. Like, I don't like the Dodgers. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're a rival, but you know, but Freddie Freeman though, by most accounts, seems like a really, really good ass dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, so if somebody's going to have a huge home run, I at least I could deal with Freddie Freeman because he seems like a class act type guy.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. All in all, a standout baseball player, and even off the field, a stand-up dude. And you know all the stuff that's going on with his family, his son,
Right.
especially. But like you said, it's like a feel-good story. You know, I got no problem with that. You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's what makes baseball hit.
What happened? Hello? You froze up there for a second, Sean. You there? Yeah. So, here, try again. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, well, I think what Sean was trying to say is it makes baseball history, and that's one of the things that's great about baseball. And obviously, to get in a little bit more about this World Series, I mean, it's a huge, tonight's pretty much the pivotal game. I mean, just to piggyback off the Phillies talk, if you get into World Series talk
Can you
here,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I was gonna say, to piggyback off the Phillies talk. You got Game 3 of the World Series tonight. I mean, tonight's pretty much it. I mean, if the Dodgers, this is must for the Yanks. I mean, if the Dodgers win tonight 3-0, you could pretty much, unless they pull the Boston Red Sox from 0-4, like the series is pretty much over. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Sean? Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, so to get back into the Eagles here. Oh, here we go. I got another comment here. Let me see here. Oh yeah, Chris Rapizzi started liking Nick Castellanos more than Harper. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Castellanos was probably the MVP of the team the second half of the season. Michael Papernick Jr. with a comment here. He says, the Phillies can't just be spending hundreds of $1 million in free agency every year. I agree. I agree with you, Mike. I mean, stupid money can only go so far. And I totally understand what you're saying. My only point is that they do have a lot of money coming off in the next 2 years. Like, I think I read somewhere where, like, in 2027, they only have like maybe 60 some million on the payroll. And it's pretty much just like Bryce, I think, Bryce Turner and Nola or something like that. Like after Wheeler's contract, you know what I mean? So So, if they can get a guy to defer some money, a la Shohei Ohtani or something like that, maybe that's something that they could possibly do. Let's see here. I got another comment here. Michael Papernick Jr. says the Phillies need some homegrown talent to step up. Well, I mean, that's kind of the hope. I mean, you got to hope a guy like Crawford steps up. He's in Double-A right now. You got to hope that Andrew Painter could become the fifth starter. When you go forward, I mean, unfortunately, you got one more year of Taijuan Walker, and he sucks. So, Sean, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I had somebody was on my car, so it went to my hands free. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. Okay. All right. No problem.
Yeah.
So
sorry about
that.
Well,
yeah, I want to wrap up the Eagles real quick, but I mean, I know we're getting into some Phillies talk, but since we're talking baseball, what's your thoughts on this series? Dodgers are up 2-0. Tonight's the pivotal game. What do you think? Is this series over? Are the Dodgers taking them out, or are the Yanks going to find a way to to even this up, or actually the next three are in New York? So can the Yanks take all three in New York, or at least 2 out of 3 to make this a series? What do you think?
With Ohtani's shoulder injury, but I heard he's playing tonight. I think the Dodgers. I think the Yankees could pull through and win the night and kind of not get swept. But all in all, I think we're going to see a good series. Now, as far as 3 games, can they do like the Boston Red Sox? That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But if anything, just see a good series. Hopefully, they don't get swept. So
yeah. I mean, well, game 1 was that game was so pivotal because now you go down 2-0. If you're from a Yankees perspective, it's hard even with the Yankees having a great home field advantage at Yankee Stadium. It's hard to take all 3, and if they don't take all 3, then they're going back to LA down 3-2, having to win 2 in a row in LA on the road. So, to be quite honest with you, I like the Dodgers in 6. I think the Yanks take 2 or 3 in New York, and then I think the Dodgers beat them in 6. I think we're going to look back at the series and look at that game 1, and that's going to be the deciding factor. If the Yanks had won game 1, then I think the Yanks would have possibly won in 6. I feel like that. I feel like Freddie Freeman's home run, kind of like a la Kirk Gibson, changed the whole complexion of the '88 series.
Yes.
I think this changed the whole complexion of the series. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because it was just and even like, oh, hang on, got one more here. Michael Papernick Jr. says, I don't care who wins the World Series as long as the Mets did not win the pennant and did not make it to the World Series. I am happy. I hear you there. That would have sucked.
I agree, man. And
then to piggyback, another thing with the Phillies, JT, Castellanos, Schwarber contracts are up in the next 2 years. So yeah, so that was my point. But yeah, I like the Dodgers in 6. I feel like game 1 was the pivotal game. Any other Eagles stuff you want to get on before we wrap this up? Anything else jump out at you with the Eagles game?
Jordan Davis, if he's on that milk carton, tell him he plays for the Eagles to come back. He's slowly becoming a bust.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the defense is playing well regardless.
I love him.
Yeah, he's not looking too great. But at least
Jomo, didn't I tell you about him in the beginning of the year? Jomo, Milton Williams. You got your unsung heroes. But
how about Jalen Carter? I was reading something that for interior lineman pressure, I don't know what the hell the stat was. It was some bullshit, something. But he's like 2nd or 3rd in the NFL. Oh, he's right behind Chris Jones and someone else. I can't remember the name, but he's like 3rd in the NFL as far as interior pressure from interior linemen.
Keep working on that technique, man. He's going to be special, man. He's got great. His hands are strong. I think if he does like jujitsu or some kind of like stuff with like Aaron Donald did.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit, man. Watch out. Scary dude. Scary kid. And the ceiling's only going to get higher and higher because the question is, how much do you want it? And his ceiling is what I'm looking at, man, high. And I'm all for it, man, because the kid got a motor and he loves the game. And he's that kind. He kind of reminds me of a Jerome Brown, not yet, but just his running his mouth, just what he brings in. Sometimes you got to double team him, and look what they did with Reggie and Jerome and company, Clyde Simmons. I mean, that's for another day. But man, I love the way he's playing, man. I love his motor.
Michael Packner Jr. says the Eagles should trade Slay and get something because I guess he means he won't be with the Eagles next season.
Yeah, I mean, little play Slay. I mean, I'm hoping we could trade him to whomever because he runs his mouth more than he plays. And like I said earlier, Mike, when he gets off the field, like Isaiah Rodgers, DeJean, and Quinyon Mitchell, this team is tackling. I mean, I never was a fan of Slay. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not the biggest Slay guy, but I mean, I feel like he's played pretty well the last few weeks, though. And the thing here's the problem. I mean, I'm with you guys as far as wanting to play the young guys. You know what I'm saying? But like, what are you going to get for at this point? I mean, you got a 5-2 football team. You're a contender. Slay, with Slay's age, you're not going to get any more than like a 4th or 5th round pick. I mean, at this point, when you're 5-2 and you're trying to win a Super Bowl, I really don't see them trading a veteran leader like him, for like a 4th or 5th round pick when you're trying to win.
True,
you know what I mean?
But dude, he can't cover these receivers. He's lost a step. Like Jefferson was the only one, but other guys that run like Rashid from who's that done for the season for the Saints, Olave, I'm not saying Brown, like those guys that do those quick routes. It seems like he loses a step because what has caught up to him? Age, and how bad is this knee injury or whatever? I mean, do I want to see him out there? No, in my point of view, I want to see these young kids, like the next gen. Quinyon Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers deserves it. He was out of the year of football, and he played a hell of a lot yesterday. And even with that tip ball to CJGJ,
that was
awesome.
That was a nice play. I'm not necessarily arguing with you. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. I mean, you got a 5-2 team. I'd be shocked if they I hear you. Like Mike Packner Jr. says, Slay is no leader. A leader doesn't go out on a podcast and crack jokes about a touchdown on his teammate. That is no leader. No, I'm in full agreement.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you. This isn't my opinion. Like, I don't like that shit. Like when a guy goes out there and does that and plays brother-in-law with the other guys, I hate that. But yeah. I'm just coming strictly from what I think the Eagles' point of view is. Like, I don't think there's any way that Howie Roseman trades him with a 5-2 record. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I get Mike's point. Like I don't love that either. Like I saw that and I was like, it was kind of cringeworthy. You know what I mean? But
he just like Mike said, laughs and smiles about it. Nah, right. Man, it's all business. They don't talk to the enemy. You know what I mean? But
yeah, but you know how it is though. This is a new generation though, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys, you look back at the day when you had like the Seth Joyners and the Buddy Ryan Eagles playing the Cowboys. Like they they wouldn't like quote unquote fraternize with the enemy. But nowadays, these guys a lot of times have like the same agent. They're at different functions together. They're doing different commercials together or outings. You know what I mean? It's just a different life,
Back in the day, we ain't swapping jerseys, man. I'm saying bleep you, giving you the finger. See you next time on my field or whatever, vice versa. It wasn't. Oh yeah, let me get your jersey, Joe. And no, it's like I'm kicking your ass next time I see you.
I hear you. Hey, that's how we used to do it on the court, right? Opposing teams were throwing bows, and then right afterwards we're going in the crib, getting a beer or something,
Yeah.
Mike Papernick Jr. says, like Shaq has said, you're my friends off the court, but on the court you're my enemy. Well, Shaq's kind of old school too.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, before we move on here, next week's game versus Jacksonville, do we have anything to worry about in that game, or is that a game you think the Eagles should be able to handle them pretty easily?
Pretty easily. We're home. Shady McCoy, the guy you got on his jersey, he's getting on retiring as the Eagle Wall of Fame. What more to the icing on the cake with a good ass whipping to Dougie P and company. They're going to be out with Brian Thomas, like we talked before the show, on close injury, and I think we're up for the task, man, So, yeah, we win.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And, being that it's the National Football League, I never like to say any game's a quote unquote rocking chair ride or easy game, but Jacksonville just, that there's a guy right there, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, is Trevor Lawrence the Ben Simmons of the NFL? I mean, by that I mean, like, remember when Ben Simmons got drafted and everybody would tell you, "Oh, Ben Simmons is great. Ben Simmons is going to be awesome." I feel the same way with Trevor Lawrence. Like Sunshine gets drafted, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's a great prospect. He's a great prospect." And then you watch the kid play, and you're like,
Really?
I'm not really seeing it. You know what I mean? And like two years ago when they won their division, I think it was 2022, and he kind of had a little bit of a breakout. They won a bunch of games in a row. He came back versus the Chargers. You kind of were like, okay, maybe the kid's coming on, but honestly, dude, I don't see it in the kid, and they paid him a lot of money, and I just don't see it, man. I feel like he's that dude that everybody tells you is great, and you're just like, dude, this dude's not that good.
Nah, overhyped, overrated.
Big time. It's almost like everybody looked at his hair and they thought, and they were having like remember Titans flashbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fabio.
The only problem with Jacksonville is they don't have McDeer and they don't have what was the black guy's name? Left strong side, weak side, right? And then the black dude wound up playing in The Wire. He was Omar. No, not Omar. Shit. Remember the Wire, dude? I'm trolling. Oh, he was Avon Barksdale.
Yeah.
They had Avon. Yeah, Avon Barksdale was in that joint. Yeah, exactly. But left side, strong side. You know what I mean? And then you had Rev. Like Jacksonville don't have none of them cats, dude. They blow.
Yeah.
So I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles next Sunday. I think they win. I think they win like, rather comfortably, maybe like by like 10 to 14, something like a 27-14 or like a 26-13, something like that. You know what I mean?
34-21.
Okay, so a little higher scoring. And part of the reason is because Brian Thomas is hurt. And I'll tell you, when I think of injuries, I think of my man Jason Fine, a.k.a. Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or, like I said, personal injury claims. Brian Thomas don't need them because he's got that Jaguars money. You know what I mean? But if you get hurt on the job, you might want to call this dude. He's got 3 office locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. He's got 1 in Philadelphia, PA, 1 in Cherry Hill, and 1 in Pittsburgh. So Brian Thomas would be screwed anyway. He's in Jacksonville, so he'd have to call the Big Al in Jacksonville. I'm sure they got a couple of them down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe what the hell was that shit? Remember Breaking Bad, and then they had the spin-off of the lawyer. Remember the lawyer?
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe Jacksonville's got a Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
All that cat. Let's see. Mike Papernick Jr. with an Eagles prediction. He says Eagles 34-60. He's right in line with you, dude.
Yeah, man. Great minds think alike.
He says Trevor Lawrence needs to get out of Jacksonville.
Nah, let him stay there, Mike. He's good.
Yeah. He's got to
work on those blocks.
Yeah, so Mike, you think it's Jacksonville or him? I kind of think it's him too. I think he just kind of blows.
Yeah.
I want to see my Eagles win and possibly a Super Bowl, but that means another year of Sirianni. I don't give a shit. I want a Super Bowl. I don't care. Sirianni's kind of annoying when he's doing some of his crap, but dude, if it means a Super Bowl, if he wins the Super Bowl, I'll gladly watch all the players carry him off the field. And in fact, if he wins the Super Bowl, he could double middle finger any fan he wants, bro. I don't care. I just want a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what he does, dude.
Pick him up and drop him.
Yeah. Dude, he could drop him on the table, bro. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like he literally could walk off that joint and be like, dude, I got balls that clang. And I'd be like, dude, you won the Super Bowl, brother. All good. I ain't going to look, you know what I mean? But hey, just win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And by the way, speaking of balls that clang, that, you know what, that actually segues me into a guy and a team that, you go from quote unquote balls that clang to pebbles in the pants. And I'll tell you, who's got pebbles in the pants, Sean? Philadelphia 76ers, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. But like, I don't know if I've ever been more disgusted with a team and a player in particular than Joel Embiid not being ready for opening day. First off, you're either hurt or you're not, right? Now, this dude gets surgery last February, comes back for the playoffs. Okay, I'll give you credit for playing versus the Knicks. He obviously hurt himself again. I think it was like that Orlando game towards the end of the year, and he was out there hobbling on one leg. Yeah, he's out there hobbling on one leg for the playoffs or whatever. Gave it his all. I think he still averaged like 30 points. Yeah. All right, you get some credit for that, right? But then he chills for like a couple months, and he plays in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
The Olympics were what, July? What were the Olympics, like July?
Yeah. July, right. August, yeah. August, July, yeah.
Dude, it's the end of October, and this dude can't make opening night. And listen, I'll preface this by saying I'm not acting like Johnny Joe Horde guy that's saying like this dude has to play every single game. Like, I understand he's got injury. I understand that he has an injury history. I'm very proactive with like if you told me that Joel Embiid's only going to play like 55 games this year or something like that, and he's going to miss most back-to-backs, I'm all right with it, dude. I'll sign up for it because I want the guy mostly healthy for the playoffs. But like, my issue with him is like, bro, you don't even make opening day. Like, there's a big difference. People pay really good money for opening night. And the other thing that pisses me off, Daryl Morey made all these moves to put them in. He, goes out and get Paul George. Yeah, I know Paul George is hurt, but he's actually legitimately hurt. Yeah. But like, you go out and get Paul George, you get Caleb Martin, you sign Drummond, you sign all these guys. And then opening night, as a Sixers fan, you're like, oh, cool, man. Yo, opening night, let's go. Championship vibe. Immediately, A week before opening night, he goes, I'm not playing back-to-backs. All right, I get that. Whatever. I don't like it,
cool.
but I get it. But I get it. Then all of a sudden, are you telling, dude, you can't even play opening night? It's bullshit. It's a slap in the face to the friggin' fans. You know, there's a big difference between opening night and like random Tuesdays versus like Charlotte, Detroit. You know, you want to tell me that like you got a back-to-back where you got Charlotte and then you got like, I don't know, Wembanyama the next night or something, right? And you're going to sit him versus Charlotte. All right, dude, I got you. You know what I mean? But he don't even play. He misses the first 3 games. Why? Why is he out? And why are we not being told? This organization is a friggin' disgrace. Like Sean, like I've been a diehard Sixers fan like since I was 8 years old. You know, it was the first professional game I went to. In fact, I went to the game where Moses got poked in the eye in 86, and he had to wear goggles the rest of his career. I love the Sixers ever since then. I'm not cool with this crap, man. It actually makes me kind of hate the team. Like, what's your thoughts? Because I'm really pissed off about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, you're supposed to be the franchise, the centerpiece, and you go out and you can't even play the season opener. Like, dude, like, give me a break, man. What's the deal? Like, you are the porcelain doll to me because you know, every time you fall, it's like a little kid. I mean, on ice skates that can't even ice skate. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of pissed on your level. Not as much, but I am, because you let the franchise down, and most importantly, your fans. You know, what if you're a fan and you were looking forward to having him go to the game, like play the game, and what does he do? He doesn't play. You're shit out of luck.
You know, I can tell you from experience. So you know that I have tickets, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't make open. I mean, I wasn't going opening night. Sold opening night, and like, you know, people pay a nice little dollar for opening night. So you know, the bottom line is like whoever bought my seats paid like, you know, I mean, it wasn't a ton of money, but they paid they paid a lot more than they would have paid versus like a Charlotte or something. So you basically you stroked all those people that thought they were going down to see their quote unquote star player. You know what I mean? It's just
absolutely.
I just think it's a disgrace. And the other thing that pisses me off too is that, like, you know, Philadelphia fans, I'm going to kind of call out our own fans a little bit, to be quite honest with you, because, you know, we've always been like, people have always said Philadelphia fans, oh, Philly fans are tough. They hold you to the fire. No, they don't. Sixers fans are softer than Shorman tissue paper.
Absolutely.
I made a couple comments. Like, I made a comment on X or whatever, which I usually don't do. I stay off that crap.
Yeah.
But I was so pissed off. I made a comment,
and
like, I had like 2-3 dudes coming at me saying, trust the plan. Trust the plan. It's all about the playoffs. I was like, bro, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, what plan? I said, it's October, dude. It's October 28th. The Sixers started October 23rd. We're gonna sit the dude? So we're gonna sit him now for April? Like, I don't know, dude.
There's more to the story, like you said.
He's obviously hurt.
Yeah, dude,
and that's fine. That's fine. If he's hurt, then I blame the organization. Then the organization should come out and be like, hey, look, Joel Embiid had a setback. You know, he re-injured himself a little bit. We're going to ramp him up. If they were to say that, I don't like it, but I'd be like, okay, fine. And to be honest, I kind of think to myself, well, dude, you shouldn't have had the dude playing in the Olympics. And again, that's a shot on Embiid, because I don't care. Embiid's like probably the greatest talent I've ever seen as a Sixer since I've been watching ball. The dude can do everything. He's a selfish ass player. It's all about him. At first it was his MVP, and now you can't convince me otherwise that dude wasn't 100%, But guess what? A gold medal looks great on his resume. So he goes out and, by the way, conveniently plays for Team USA. I mean, he could have played for one of them other countries that he could have
he
played
might
for.
play for Cameroon
Yeah.
next time around. Give me a goddamn break.
Conveniently plays for USA so he could get the gold. And now it looks good on his resume. And then, fast forward 3 months, guess who's not in shape? And guess who? That's another thing, too. Like the Sixers came out and were saying supposedly he lost some weight. And then you heard Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse looked like he was a hostage when he was talking about Embiid last week because they had him up there practically lying. And having to lie for this crappy loser organization, and he's sitting there, and I called it in the comments. It was kind of like basically, Embiid's like not quite there shape wise, dude. I'm sorry, man. I'm done, dude. Like you make $60 million a year, get your friggin' ass in shape. Like you got one job, get your ass in shape.
You get paid big bucks, man. Exactly.
I'm sick. I'm tired of it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'll follow the Sixers, obviously. You know what I mean? Like number one, because I mean it is in my blood. I do love basketball, but I really have no desire to watch the team because I'm just so sick of the crap. I'm tired of being fed BS, tired of being lied to, and they do it just they're almost like. I feel like I feel like the Sixers are the kings of selling future stock. It started with the process, right? Like think about it. Now, I supported the process, so I'm guilty of that. I'm one of those soft fans there because I was tired of always being a 7 seed.
Yeah.
So I supported the process, but now we're come on, man. We're 10 years in now. Like.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they've been feeding us BS for all this time. This dude, like, I'm sorry, but for him not to be, unless it comes out that he's legit really hurt, for him not to be ready opening, Sean, he could have played opening night and missed like the next game, and I would have been all
happy
right.
with
Like,
it. You're right. Exactly.
I'm pissed off that this dude wasn't in shape. And you're looking forward to this season, and he misses. He already missed the first 3. And then when's he going to play? Like, damn, dude, you make $60 million a year. Like, yo, here's a thought: can you show up for work? I'm sorry, dude.
Dude.
Call me crazy, but I expect guys that get paid big money to actually have to work.
Damn right. He's getting paid. Not only to put out a good product of himself, but for the fans. And we didn't even see that. You let down the fans. You spit on us.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not even like the curmudgeon fan. Like I know people out there would be like, well, yo, you should play all 82. Like I'm not even going there. Like I'm cool with trying to get this guy to the postseason. Have him miss a bunch of games, but come on, man, you can't even make the start of the season. Like that's loser shit to me. I'm just loser shit.
And just like Mike said, LeBron spends millions to keep his in top shape. That's the difference between LeBron and Embiid. Who wants it more?
LeBron does.
LeBron does. No matter his age, he puts rigorous things to keep his body in shape. What does Embiid do? First couple seasons, he's eating like shit, this and that.
Yeah.
You didn't take, like you said, Joey, he's a generational talent. But if you see that and you're hearing it from you as a fan, shit, man, I better eat right. I better sleep, eat the gym. You want to, like when I played football, I wanted to be better than the next person, playing, like going out for football. I wanted that. I wanted to make the team. And he just doesn't have that will and desire because he has the size, the skill set, but he doesn't put forth the effort that me and you wish we had, but we don't.
Well, and here's the thing too, right? If it's not him and it's the organization, then like I got to keep it real. If I'm Joel Embiid and if say the Sixers are like, oh, we have a plan. We're going to keep you healthy for the playoffs. If I'm the player and I'm Joel Embiid, I'm like,
Exactly.
yo,
That's
dog.
where you're going with it. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, dog. I'm like, yo, dog. I'm like, look, I'm like, I'll sit some back-to-backs. I'll follow some of your plan. I'd be like, but I'm playing opening night, dude. You ain't gonna make me look like soft. You know what I mean?
I really think
He's got to be hurt.
he has to be, and it was all, he let down the fans. It was him, like playing. Just look at it, dude. Like his body language, like I'm old school. I don't want to see my center, and like you said, generational talent. I don't give a shit how good of a dribbler he is. 7'2" dude should not be dribbling up the goddamn ball and shooting threes. Me, what I want him in the paint banging. But that's this new NBA, like Mike and Chris said. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I mean, he is a great shooter. I'm all right with the way he plays. I'm just tired of I'm tired. I guess what I'm saying is I'm tired of being sold the bullshit. Tired of being sold the bullshit. Because now what they're gonna do is this dude's barely gonna play this year. Maybe you get 40 some games out of him, 50. And what's going to happen is the East is tough. They're going to wind up being a 5 or 6 seed. We're not going to have home court in it. The goal isn't the goal to win a championship. I mean, am I supposed to give a shit? I'm sorry, dude. I'm not trying to be a prick, and I don't like this. And I don't like to see dudes hurt. But I'm sorry, dude. Like Joel Embiid, he makes $60 million a year. You know what, dog? If your knee hurts, I don't care. I don't care if you got a fucking. I don't care. Rub some tussin on that, John, bro. I don't care.
Brace on some icy hot and get out there.
I don't care. You get paid plenty of money, dude. I'm sorry, man. Take some Advil, rub some tussin on that, John. Get your ass out there and whoop some ass, dude.
But
tired of.
Like you said, this generation, it's different, man. It really is. You might be big and all, but deep down inside, you're charming. You're Charmin soft.
Yeah, and if I have one more person tell me it was driving me insane. Like some dudes like, oh, it's all in the plan. Oh, he was like this. He's like, oh, they tried everything else. It's all about the playoffs. I'm like, come on, brother. I'm like, I hear you. I was like, okay. I was like, I'll give you that. It is all about the playoffs. All right, dude. Have them play 50 games or have them play 55, sit out a lot of back-to-backs. All right, no argument. But come on, dude. Your ass got to be out there some of the freaking time. I mean, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
People pay good money to watch this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
this dude don't even show up.
But that's okay. Come on, dude.
No, I think it's a bunch of crap. I mean, back in the day, dude, like I know times have changed, but if you put on TNT Thursday night and it was like Bulls Knicks and it could be a February and you had guess what? Guess who'd be playing? Jordan Pippen, Horace Grant, all them cats. Guess who'd be playing for the Knicks? Starks, Ewing, Oakley. You could actually watch that, John. Now you watch the thing that I can't fathom, dude, is how in the world does the NBA get the TV contracts that they get? Because if I'm running a network, I'd be really pissed off if every single time you had a big matchup and everybody sits. Oh, you know what? Oh, well, this guy didn't sleep that great. His right ball hurts. And they're like, yo, he's sitting out because his nut hurts. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, dude's calling Jason Fine because he's got ball pain. I mean, get the hell out of here, dude.
I mean, even Barkley had a comment about his displeasure with Embiid, and he's speaking the truth. I forget what he quoted, but I totally agree with him.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Well, dude, tell you what, Kevin Garnett played a lot of games, and guess what, dude? That 08 Celtics team, you had Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. Those guys won a ton of games, finished as a number 1 seed, and they won the whole championship. And you know one of the reasons why they won the chip? They said it. Guess why? They set a winning culture early in the season. They went out there, established chemistry, established a winning culture. Look at some of these other teams, like for example, Phoenix Suns last year. Phoenix Suns go out there with a big three at Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Derek Booker, right?
Yeah.
They barely played all year. Beal would be out, Durant would be out, whatever.
Yeah, off and on stuff. Yeah.
And all their fans and all the big shows on Stephen A. Smith, all the NBA shows and all, everybody was like, oh, the Suns are going to be the shit. Look at this big three, yada, 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 right? First round comes, dude. Guess what happens? Minnesota kicks their ass. You know why? Because they had no chemistry. You know what I mean? Like a couple years back, Brooklyn Nets. Do you remember when they had Harden and what was it? Harden, Durant, and Kyrie.
Durant, and
and Kyrie. They barely played. They didn't get it done. I mean, in all fairness, Kyrie got hurt. What's his face? Kyrie got hurt. If Kyrie didn't get hurt, they probably beat Milwaukee. So maybe they're not the best example, but the bottom line is same result. They didn't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal of this franchise is supposed to be a championship. You're supposed to go out there with, once Paul George gets healthy, which hopefully should be soon, you're supposed to go out there, establish chemistry with those big three, with these role players, and the goal is to win a chip. I'm sorry, sorry to a lot of the fans out there that are maybe on Joel Embiid's payroll, you know what I mean? Because some of those dudes, the way they were coming at me, I thought it was like Joel Embiid's friend or something, you know what I mean? But sorry, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, get it. You got to play sometimes. You know what I mean? I expect dudes to earn their money. I really do. I'm not cool with it.
He's just getting it. He's getting it given to him. You're right. You got to earn it, man. But
how does that mean? Like seriously, like us as fans, right? We got to watch. There's 82 games, and again, like I said, I'm cool with having them chill sometimes, get them ready for the playoffs. Understand that. But imagine this dude plays 30 some 40 games. They get no cohesion, finish as a 5 or 6 seed, get bounced in the first round. Am I supposed to care that the guy, oh my God, well, he's not as hurt this year. Dude, I don't care. No. I don't care. You make $60 million, dude. You know what? If your knee hurts a little bit, sorry, tough shit. He don't care if I'm hurt. Sorry. Yeah. That's just how it is, dude. Zero, you know what's given. You know what I mean? Get out there and play.
Bingo. Couldn't agree more, babe.
It's like, I mean, that's why, you know what I mean? Like, you look at, not to compare you look at some of these football players, bro. Like, you watch, Alshon Jeffrey, the Eagles won the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Alshon Jeffrey couldn't even lift his arm practically. And he's out there balling in the Super Bowl, making touchdown catches and stuff. He's out there balling. He played every game. Yeah, different sport, but he was out there balling, found a way to win the Super Bowl.
He has that athletic mentality. He has that mentality that Joel doesn't have, He doesn't have that hunger and will. You know what I mean? He might be that big dude, can do this and that, but at the end of the day, you're just another porcelain doll, like I said, You better get your head out of your ass and, prove us wrong. All the shit we're talking about you. I want you to. But as far as I'm concerned, you haven't shown me shit.
Dude, here's a great example. T.O. with the broken foot playing the Super Bowl.
Broken
Meanwhile,
fibula.
He was the best player. Meanwhile, he's the best player on that field in the Super Bowl.
Damn right he is. Why Donovan's out drinking, and it ain't dehydration. Trust me. I heard that from somebody. Throwing his ass up on the field. Must be nice to go out the night before the biggest game and yakking on the field.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is only the first week of the season, so here's hoping, I would love for like Embiid, to find out like Embiid's not hurt. You know what I mean? And he comes back, he plays against Detroit this week, and then all of a sudden George comes back, the next week or whatever it is, and the team starts rolling. And I would love to eat my words because I love the Sixers. I would love to eat my words, and I would love for him to actually be healthy in the playoffs for once and have them make a run. But to be honest with you, I think there's if I'm a betting man, I think there's a real good possibility that like 5 to 10 years from now, there'll be an ESPN 30 for 30 made about the process. And it's basically going to be titled what could have been, or it could be like, you know what, Sean, like the Bronx Tale, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And that's what it's going to be. Like the Sixers with the process, like basically they had all these picks, all this time to do stuff. And Embiid is one of the most gifted players that's probably ever played in the NBA. I mean, he does things that he puts up numbers that Wilt Chamberlain. You look back and you're like, damn, like who else did that? Wilt. You know what I mean? And you see this crap, but we're never going to win.
We're total at the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah. So
it is. It's just really frustrating because like this team, like. Like you watch the kid Maxey play. Like, look at Maxey, dude. That kid plays with such energy, such enthusiasm. Like he had 45 yesterday, and all you want to do is see a complete team just for once. You know what I mean? Just one time, see a complete team. But it's always, it's always there's always something, and then this franchise always pulls. And then when you get excited, you immediately get cold water poured on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, I was really looking forward to it. It's just Debbie Downer constantly.
Damn right.
Hang on, let's see. Michael Papernick Jr. says, I live in upstate New York between Rochester and Syracuse now, but I lived and grew up in Philly for 39 of my 55 years, and I love all my Philly sports teams.
Awesome.
Hey man, I hear you. I'm 4 for 4 too. I still love the Sixers too. I mean, they still got me, but I just hate the way
you have to have a bad taste in your mouth for what they're doing to you. What are you supposed to be happy? No, you're allowed to voice your opinion and rant and rave because you want to see they have so much talent, but you want to see it out there, not on the damn bench. Gumming it up, chumming it up, smiling and laughing when your ass should be out on the court if you're not hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the big question. If it is an injury, how about for once the organization tells people the truth instead of stroking them? You know what I mean?
Or hiding behind closed doors. You're right. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
That's my issue. You know what I mean? Like you're just, and it came out that the NBA is investigating them. Good. I hope the NBA does because I think what they do is a disgrace to the game. I'm always going to believe it, and that's what I think.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, if it is just load management, then all these other teams have a legit beef to bitch. Because why should the Sixers be allowed to do this crap, and then all these other teams they get their balls twisted when they sit their star players? That ain't cool.
No.
But anyway, we could talk about this. I'm done ranting, so we could talk about this for a while. But let's get ready to close up here.
Absolutely.
Before we get out, who do you like for Monday night? We got the Giants and Pittsburgh. Any thoughts on that game?
I want to see Pittsburgh win and screw the Giants.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh wins. I think Pittsburgh wins by double figures, honestly.
And I need George Pickens and neighbors, if you're out there, to shit the bed for me. Thank you.
Cool. And and you know what? We were going to do a little next week. We'll do a little Flyers. The Flyers are struggling, but Michkov looks good at least. So at least that's a positive.
Yep, I got his fucking jersey on. Yeah. Kid's bright future. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll do a little Flyers next week. But all
Absolutely.
right, everybody. Well, look. Hopefully, go Birds.
Go Birds, man.
Go Sixers. Go Flyers. And yeah, and enjoy the World Series. And we'll see you next week.
And get your ass up, porcelain doll. Later.
Later.